Hello, ladies. My name's Angela, for those of you that don't know me, and I can't wait to talk to you today about a topic that I know so many females, including my friends, my close colleagues, have as they move towards and transition into menopause. And keeping in mind, this age range can be anywhere from the ages of your late 30s all the way through to your mid to late 50s. So there's quite an age range here that I'm talking about with this topic, and that's low energy. So many women will feel, especially if you're still having a period, like you have really low energy leading up to your period, like someone's pulled the plug out on the electricity and you just feel like you can't get any of the normal tasks done that you typically do in your everyday life, work tasks, home tasks, you're angry, irritable, tired, you just feel like you want to just kind of forget about life in this time period leading up to your period. And if you're not having a period anymore, you have transitioned into menopause, you may actually be feeling this more all of the time versus just leading up to your cycle. So of course, this is not a good scenario to feel exhausted like this, like you can't do your life all of the time. So we really need to understand the root cause of why this is happening. And then even more importantly, what can be done about it. Many women try to adjust for this by trying to eat a healthier diet. They try to sleep more, go to bed earlier. And some women also try to adjust what they're doing with exercise. But many women find that this is not enough. Eating better, going to sleep more earlier in the night, and also, trying to improve their exercise. Some women try to up their exercise, thinking that this will help them improve their energy. Some women find that if they exercise, they're so exhausted that they've actually just had to almost completely take it away. So there's either extreme with the exercise, and it may not be working for you. So we need to figure out if these are some of the things that you've tried and they haven't worked for you, how do we dig deeper and really figure out what's going on? So what these women have in common, whether you are pre or post that transition into menopause, with having this fatigue, either at certain points in your cycle or more all the time, is low hormones. So as you move, especially towards your period, right before that week leading up to, the hormones start to get quite low. And if you're in menopause, they're more low all the time. And so low sex hormones can definitely equate to lower energy. There is no doubt that this is part of it, is the changing and lowering of our sex hormones. However, how do we compensate and overcome this so that we don't have to feel fatigued and exhausted for the rest of our life? So there is a way to basically hack this and understand why you have low energy all the time. So another thing that happens when the sex hormones decline and change is it also actually impacts our digestive health, our ability to absorb our nutrients, and the ability to keep our gut microbiome balanced, which is also actually one of the keys to housing our energy in our cells. So we need to, for most women that are suffering like this, dig deeper and figure out what's happening with your digestive health, your metabolic health. How are you digesting and absorbing your nutrients on a daily basis? And so for this, we have to dive into doing some functional lab tests. And so this is what I do with women all of the time. We understand from a metabolic perspective, either urine or stool testing, what's happening for you as an individual. Are you not digesting and absorbing some key nutrients? Some of the most common ones for women are low zinc, low iron, low magnesium. These will definitely result in feeling depleted a lot of the time if you're low in these nutrients. And there's plenty more that women can be deficient in if they're not digesting and absorbing their nutrients properly. So we need to dive in and understand this. The other thing that's super, super common for women, the reason they feel depleted, especially with lowering sex hormones, is because your adrenals are the backup mechanism basically for our hormones as they start to decline, and they should start to basically take over and produce some level of hormone that actually helps us to stay energized even as our sex hormones lower. But for many women, the adrenals are doing a job of helping us manage our stress and our high cortisol levels. So for women that are, running a household, they're busy with their work, busy with family, busy with things outside of the home, and you're kind of always going. I call this almost on kind of hyper cortisolism or hyper alert all the time. You may or may not even know it. You've maybe just normalized it in your life. This does tax the adrenals. It puts stress and pressure on them. So they may not be producing optimal amounts of hormone as far as compensation as the sex hormone production declines in the ovaries. So if you have what's, adrenal insufficiencies, you're moving more towards adrenal exhaustion, you just don't have that output and that balance there, that also could be a big part of the reason why you have this exhaustion all of the time. So we need to understand how to get to the root of this and really help you with your adrenals. And there's certain ways to support it. And again, the way to understand how to do it specifically for you is going to be to do the proper lab testing to understand where you're at with your adrenal function. And then we can start to work individually to help you get the balance back. So these are a couple of areas of health that I feel like you just cannot ignore if you're having exhaustion all the time. If you tried some of the more standard techniques, doing the proper amount of exercise, eating better, sleeping better, but you're still absolutely absolutely exhausted and you just can't do your life, I highly recommend you reach out to me, because I work with women that have this all the time. I have suffered from this personally, so I know from a personal perspective how this feels, but I also know what you can do to get the balance back and really regain your life. So I would be happy to connect with you on a one-on-one consult, and we can talk about how you could get the balance back. And first, the first step to that is learning the root cause of where it's come from in the first place. So please feel free to connect with me. You can go to my website, www.angelasimpsonfunctionalmedicine.ca. There is a place there for you to book a complimentary consult for us to connect. There's also a place there on a contact link if you want to email me and ask me some questions before you do so. And if you haven't already, please join my Facebook group, Functional Medicine for Hormone Imbalances. It's a group of 6,000 plus females where we learn every week about different imbalances with hormones for females as they move towards and into menopause, women age 35 plus. And we can really help you start to understand how you can put some lifestyle strategies in place right away to get you feeling better. You do not have to suffer going through this time of life. There is ways to get the answers back, and there's definitely ways for you to get out of this cycle of exhaustion. So I look forward to hopefully connecting with you soon. Thanks so much. Bye for now.